And welcome everyone to Mystics Outlook. We got Raymond Lyons here, Cardo W. Jr., Wilson Turbay Jr., the Washington Mystics. Extremely exciting, a little bit nerve wracking and whatnot. That said, they moved to 2-1 on the year with a 104 to 102 win over the Indiana Fever. Washington survived numerous scares along the way, and they had a lot of opportunities where we kind of just at times watching a young team trying to figure out how to win, just not being able to put folks away. Because one of the weirdest statistics, and I know you guys are getting into stuff a little bit, was what was it? I think 69% of the game, 68, 69% of the game they led. Like you had an opportunity to for this game to not end as exciting as it was. That's it. Ray, we start with you, Nick Cardell. Um, you guys take on Washington moving to 2-1 and 2-0 on the road.
Um, yeah, it's good to see him, be able to figure it out eventually. But they made this way too stressful for my liking. But I mean, it's a young team. They're gonna have some hiccups, but a lot of this stuff is avoidable, and I expect them to be able to clean it up as the year progresses. Like me and you were talking before we got on. The Fever got up 92 shots, and the Mystics only got up 68. Without the Mystics gifting them those extra possessions with the turnovers, and Indiana capitalizing on that, this is a much more comfortable win. But nevertheless, they figured out a way to get it done. Indiana came out kind of on fire. Mystics cooled them down, took control of the game, and were able to build themselves a little bit of a cushion. And the Fever had to rally back with with some miraculous shooting from Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark to give themselves a chance. On top of the Mystics, just inexplicable mistakes. One is Cassandra Prosper's got her head down, passes it too late. Money shines out against the steal, and that turns into a three to put Indiana back in the game. So, just little stuff like that where the Mystics they just gotta be more composed in those situations. But again, man, that big three is proving that basically them having good games is going to be enough to give the Mystics a chance against anybody. We seen it through three games so far. Just everybody else around them has just gotta step up a little bit more, and they'll be in a much better position. But yeah, man, just having that to rely on consistently is it gives them a soft landing spot regardless of what else is going on around them. But yeah, that other stuff they got to clean it up, man. And defensively, that's a good thing to hang your hat on. They've defended well. Mitchell and Caitlin Clark just got loose in the fourth quarter, and those are two great scorers. That's going to happen, but for the most part, they kind of had Indiana in a bad spot. They shot 39% from the field for the game, 36 and 92. Just the 3-point shooting is what really kept them in it. They was 17 to 42 from three. That's 40%. But the Mystics, they only took 16 threes and made six. And typically, a team bombs you like that from three and it's that much disparity, you lose that game. But, with everything else they were able to do, was enough to get them to win. Like I said, man, a little too close for comfort for me. Yeah, they've had three cardiac games so far to start the season. Let's get some blowouts, man. It's okay. You can dominate teams for 40 minutes. I promise. But yeah, man, good win for them. We're seeing a young team just kind of fight through it and figure it out, and winning in positions where I think we talked after the Toronto game last year. That Toronto game is a loss. Last year, I think this game is a loss. With what they've added and what they're able to do, they've been able to flip the script. So yeah, man, just want to see them continue to build and clean up those things, especially to take care of the ball a little more, and yeah, and just finish games stronger.
Cardo.
Yeah, good win. I call this like one of a character building win. You're a fairly young team. You're on the road against a team that's eyeing trying to get out the Eastern Conference, and um, you dominate most of the game. But they found a way to battle back, led by their backcourt. That we said in the pregame they had to contain, and the Mystics didn't do that at all. It's easier said than done. Obviously, they did it for stretches, but throughout the game, they found a way to get it done. And but yet the Mystics found a way when it was necessary to pull out the win, even with self-imposed mistakes. Kiki missing that layup, the foul, the turnovers, just um, letting Caitlin get free when everybody in the building knew you needed a three, and that's what she does. And you know, Maisha Hines Allen with the dribble handoff screen, and she gets wide open for a three. Just mistakes that later on the season they can't afford to make because this will be a loss. But regard, regardless, they found a way to win, man, and that's what's impressive. These are the type of wins where you like, all right, we got something. Because think about it, the Mystics haven't played close to the best. I guarantee you, we as to coaching staff and to a player, they're like, we're not even close to where we can be and should be. But this is what happens when you feel the team. I think that, the broadcast said I got to double check. 12 to 14 are in the first or second year. So it's going to be some tough growing pains, and that's what you see with the turnovers, 21 turnovers, and he had to score 27 off of them. That's what kept them in the game. That right there, because that front court with Sonya, Kiki, and Shakira punished them tonight. Washington outscored them 58-28, and they only got 10 bench points. So that was them, because Georgia and I'm not going down there, and probably McMahon, but she didn't score a lot today. Cody, she had 13, but she had two threes, so three of her field goals probably came in the paint. It's just it shows you. This game was like it just shows you where their ceiling could be, but also it shows you how far they got to go. It's just both at the same same mix, but regardless, they're finding a way to win, which is encouraging, and that's why when we was high on the draft, where did a lot of these rookies come from? Winning programs. They know how to win, and when you're young and inexperienced at the highest level of the game, those winning habits will overcompensate for what you don't know, and that's what you're seeing right now, man. And it's a joy to see. The one other positive for the Mystics, their offense got going. I read off how anemic their offense had been on the start of the season over the first couple games, and tonight, 56% from the field. They're high up there. 3-point range. I think they were shooting like 22% on the season coming into the game. They shot 38% tonight, and free throws. They were literally dead last, I believe, in free throw shooting. They shot 79% today. So in that regard, the offense came alive. But I think what threw the Mystics off was the Fever's pace. They're second in the WNBA pace. So they're running off makes and misses. And that threw the Mystics off because it was stretches where the Mystics defense looked like the Mystics defense. And then it was stretches where it's like, yo, what's going on? And that's when you saw the mistakes happen. And then they capitalized off the turnovers, and that's why teams want to push the pace, because it makes you hurry if you're not careful and play outside of what you want to do. Meanwhile, the Mystics pace, they're 13th in the WNBA because they want to capitalize off their bigs. So it was a battle of style, so to speak, and the Mystics had the edge being on the road, man. And when I to further prove what I'm talking about, in the second quarter, the Mystics beat the Fever 20-9. They outscored them 20-9. They won that quarter. They held the Fever to 19% from the field, 11% from deep. And they shot 40% from the field, 75% from the free throw line, 28% from deep. And I rebounded on 14-9. I was scoring 20-9. Like that's what I mean. Like that quarter right there created such a gap that when they made the young, inexperienced mistakes later in the game, it was enough of a cushion for them to last. And that's why you got to hang your head on defense because when your offense isn't going, when you're making mistakes on the offensive end, when it's not clicking, that'll keep you in the game. That can help you win the game. And that quarter alone was enough for the Mystics to have to pull it out, man. You know what I mean? So, and we can't say enough about what Shakira is doing. She's playing at an all-star level. Like she's elevated her game. Um, 19 9 to 5, 3 blocks. Got to stay out of foul trouble, but she was a +6, 7 to 11 from the field. You can't complain about that at all. Like she's hooping, she's getting it done. Cody McMahon for her first game on the road, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Is the reason why she was starting, and we was like, we was kind of wondering like who the other person gonna be. And she started throughout the preseason. He was like, oh, okay, all right. And if it wasn't for her injury, who knows? Messi might be undefeated right now because look what she done right off, just coming off of IR and just getting to it on the road at that. And she had to guard Caitlin and Kelsey. She was switching between both. That's a tall task for your first game, and I believe she handled it well. She took her lumps, but I feel like she handled the situation well. And Kiki outside the turnovers and that missed layup, man, she being what she is, an all-star. 25 and 13, 11 to 17. What more can you say, man? So, and Sonya's being Sonya. I ain't even gonna bring her up. That's just self-explanatory. That front court, Sonya, Kiki, and Shakira. I gotta go around the league. Name a front court that's playing better. I mean, I gotta do a deep dive around the league,
I
but
mean, look, pound for pound, they're in the conversation for sure. With
I'm saying, man,
like,
and they're
like,
only gonna get better. They're
yeah,
only gonna get better because think about what's happened when the youngest take that leap and they figure out the league and they can give them more help, and now they can get rest and really be more strategic and stuff like that instead of carrying the load. It's gonna be even more efficient, and they're gonna be even better on both ends. And that's the beauty of it. They're getting it done on both ends, man. You know what I mean? So, great win. Like I say, Caitlin for the most part was under control. She just had that stretch where she got hot, and she can hit threes from all over. We know that, man, and she don't miss free throws. That she got her average with assists. Kelsey didn't shoot the ball well, but she hit a few threes, and that's what got her going. Um, outside, I felt like Monique was giving them trouble at first. She was the energy and stuff like that. She was making the Mystics big work, but they found a way because the Fever started on dumb high. They was torching the Mystics and all that, and that's what I mean. Character building went, and the Mystics they didn't get rattled. They just stayed the course. Next thing you know, what was it like a 25 to 1 run? It was some crazy.
it was a disgusting run. It was like sit down and we're gonna do some stuff for a little while. Get back to you.
Yeah,
It was a disrespectful run, like legitimately disrespectful run.
yeah. And it started at the end of the first quarter, and then that crazy second quarter where they held on the 9 points. They just continued through that whole quarter, and that's how they got the lead. And that was the gap and the difference in the game, man. So we all three of us coming into the season, we was like, the defense got to improve. And when we saw what they drafted, we knew like, okay, the defense is going to be on point. They just got to build the chemistry offensively and whatnot as the youngest grow. And that's starting to come along because I believe this is the first game where they were efficient in all three areas, from the field, from 3-point range, free throw line. If they can match that and get more production out of, especially the reserves and stuff, and Lord knows stop turning the ball over. That sheesh. They got to stop. But they cut down no turnovers, cut in half. They're in very great shape.
Yeah, and I think another thing to keep in mind with everything is, I think this is the we saw George's minutes get pushed up a little bit more. I think it was 24 minutes. I know it wasn't anything huge, but through the first two games, we hadn't seen her late in games because of the minute cap. So we saw her a little bit later in this one. It wasn't anything drastically different, but just a reminder that they're waiting for that piece too. It's not like they're not getting 30 minutes that are out there starting point guard yet. And it's not to say George at the top of the league as a point guard, but we all see the value in the way that she connects with her teammates on the floor. When the three of us first all got in here, you talked about that layup. That was a hell of a pass from Georgia to hit Kiki. Drew two, dropped it off. Like there's a flair with how she goes about playing point guard, and we're not getting 25, 30 minutes a night of that yet. But as you guys said, yeah, the defense, man, and that's a hell of a debut for Cody. Um, hey, here's your first regular season start, which is was it 13 points, a couple threes. Um, but again, like she's a little bit further ahead of Cass. It looks like in terms of being comfortably offensively is only one game, but that's a luxury too. Like that's another person, like you said, Cardell. Wait for the youngsters to get comfortable. Um, that's a good start. But yeah, those three, their big three was at 74 tonight. You started talking like on a regular basis with their you could kind of pencil in 60 between the three of them on an average night. Like that's kind of where we're getting to. And when you start talking like that, that means it's a legit big three. That's when you can legit call something a big three when you can pencil in. All right, for the most part, everyone should get about 20. Tonight, I think what Sonya was a career high with 30 tonight. Kiki at 25. Shakira just missed 20 points. Like they're doing a lot of heavy lifting, and shouts at them for that. Player of the game for you guys.
Wow. Yeah, this
Uh,
PP Shakira Citron. Nah, dang, this. You know what? I'm gonna go with Shakira, and I'm gonna tell you why. The 19 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, already 3 blocks, plus 6, 7 to 11, efficient all around. And she held Aaliyah Boston in check 9-4. So if Aaliyah is Aaliyah, the Mystics don't win this game. And the fact that she had her offensive production, then defensively, she kept that, she was all over the place, keeping that front court in check. With the way the backcourt was going on, that's what I mean, man. That's why I say she's playing at all-star level, Shakira is. So I'm going to give it to her because of her all-around efficient play.
Ray, you got another candidate, or you agree? You going with Shakira as well?
uh, oh man, yeah, I think I might have to roll with Shakira too. I was going back and forth between her and Sonya. Um, but yeah, like Shakira cleaned up a lot of mess. Um, then one play that's probably not going to get recognized, but it made a difference. It was an OT. Kelsey Mitchell had a breakaway, and Shakira just being there made her miss a layup, and that turned into a Cody McMahon 3. And that was because Shakira was beating stuff all night. Like, and that's not a recorded stat, but potentially saved the game because Kelsey make that layup, Indiana go up 1, and we don't know what happens after that. So yeah, man, just like Ardell said, man, her all around impact.
Yeah, and the other thing with Indiana pushing the pace like that, she early on looked to be the most comfortable big with dealing with it. And we saw her getting back in transition, altering multiple possessions. You guys talked about Kelsey smoking that layup. Kara hadn't punched what 200 shots before in transition. She's not thinking about it. How many other times did we see folks go down there, kind of hit the U-turn, the little Steve Nash dribble back out of there, um, because she was hunting. The other thing I want to give her credit for, I thought she did a great job while the other two members of the big three was kind of going off. I thought she did a great job just not forcing it offensively. Like they got going and like I thought that like that was huge. It's super mature. By her just want to give credit where it's due. I thought that was huge. Kind of not taking like a seat back, but you guys know what I'm saying. Kind of falling back, letting them and like I'll take care of this back here while y'all going off. They don't get out this game without her on both ends. So yeah.
And that's her growth from last year. Because last year she would have forced up some of those shots, man. And And let's be real, man. Security, dog. Nice little contract extension, man. That helps you relax. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gotta force it to get some numbers, get my bread. Like, and I'm just being real. That's just the pro game, man. So, but nah, it's really maturity, even overseas. Like she's dealing with it. Like, it's like most of the league with the physicality. It's like, man, it's like training camp almost. It's like, damn, we gotta get adjusted. She's hitting the ground running. I don't know what league she played in overseas. I saw clips. She over there with Liz Cambage and all that, man. Like wrestling with. She come back and like this light work, and she just hitting the ground running. She's playing at an all-star level. So, yo, she's been a godsend, man. And just imagine if they didn't sign her, where they would be.
It would look drastically different, that's for sure. 'Cause like you said, with the physicality, there's comfort in that. That's somebody who's even with the injury, she's seen a lot of the league already. And for a team this young, that's huge. Because the other kind of super vet on this team has yet to. We haven't seen Michaela yet. She hasn't been out there. So that experience goes a long way. Xfactor for you guys.
Man, I gotta go. Sonya everything. Kiki Citron, whatever. I gotta go with both, man. Because they both took turns like carrying the load offensively. They both took turns. Any key stretches where the Missies needed it. Because it looked like the Feed was about to try to run away with this thing. And like they would get within one, a tied, or go up one, and Kiki 3 for 3 in a solo run, or Sonya hitting a couple three. It's mid-range shots or something like that, getting to the free throw line. They both took turns, man. Their chemistry is crazy, man. That 1-2 punch, man, with Shakir kind of being consistent throughout the game on both ends, is a problem. I got to give it both to them. It's like we can bring up, Kiki's turnovers, but she's trying to miss some free throws too. So, but without them, they don't win. So I got to roll with both.
No arguments for me, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue. Like they both, like Ariel said, they both took turns, kind of filling that void in at different key stretches. So it's hard to separate them.
We'll get to some of these comments, but all in all, just a really good win for Washington. As you know, we're only 3 games in. I think they play next on Monday night. They won't be home for pretty much until the end of the month. They return home May 29th. So they're going to continue, but they're 2-0 on the road this season. Got to give them credit for that. All right, we're going to get to these comments before we get out of here. Yeah, 20 turnovers is huge and unacceptable, but still to get the win is perfect for a coach. It's from Doug Dame, Area 11T. Simply said, Dub. Ray said he was right with you, although they're killing me with how they finish the games, man. But a dub is a dub. Like I said, Sonya ran MVP, LOL, but seriously, superstar alert possibly. You guys want to add any thoughts on that?
She got the game. She got the game, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just got to pile up wins. Like, that's part of it. Can't be a superstar. You always in a lottery.
This is true. Yeah, the growing pains. Ceiling is high if they get out their own way. Think that'll
But you,
happen along the way, man. But go ahead,
but you,
Carter.
you know what's encouraging about the turnover thing? Rory and Georgia didn't have a high turnover. They only
Yeah,
had. I'm more.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was
yeah,
really worried about, because the point guard can't
yeah,
be having 4
yeah.
turnovers, like 10 turnovers between them. Like, that's tough. Like, most of these turnovers tonight honestly came from Kiki, and that's unusual for her. Just Monique, Monique and Aaliyah and Maisha. Like, like I gotta bring this up where Cody tried to do the the one woman fast break thing, and she tried to bully Maisha. Maisha just roughed the ball and like looked at her like, dog. Welcome. I was like, welcome to the league, dog. Like, in college, you it's bully ball. You looking like LeBron out there, man. And she waited too. She just like, I know she ain't about to try me. And she tried it. She like, come on, bro. Like, get out. I was like, that was funny. But that's what I mean by you gotta know who to try, who not to try, dog. And that's just, she gotta learn that, man. You only go through this once, man, as a rookie, man. So but she can't. She stuck with it. She hit the big three, man. But yeah, for sure, like the turnovers, I've been looking at the point guard like I need y'all to cut that down because we can't. They can't even get in the offense. You giving it back to the other team.
Facts. Area 11C, I need to see more point citron. What do y'all think?
Yeah, it helps takes the pressure off of the young guards like Georgia. Them, I mean, she technically in the second year, but she didn't play. You know what I'm saying? So she learning everything like in real time. And Rory a rookie, and yeah, they gonna have to.
But this team is scary considering they're staying in close games while still getting in their way. I just kind of said everyone's point about they're young, like do young stuff.
Talent speaks
Uh,
for itself.
that's what certainly is clear. There's been
Hmm.
an influx of talent, which is why we're all so crazy excited come draft night. And 3 games in, there's a lot of things that can be said. Nobody can dispute that there was a clear infusion of talent. Yeah, that
And
big three is
the
probably at
games
least
where
a
they,
voting race hard.
now I was just gonna say the games where they put it all together, it's gonna be ugly.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
Especially because that end of the floor, that special end of the floor that people don't care about, that's the part they're excelling in. So
Hmm.
when the other part comes, yeah, man,
I just hope when they finally get it going consistently offensively,
that
they
doesn't
don't
drop.
get lax on defense, man. Because that usually
Hmm.
happens. Like I need y'all to play like when y'all couldn't. I need y'all to play like when y'all couldn't hit a shot. Like y'all was turning it over. And y'all like this the only way we gonna win is we gotta strap up. Keep bringing that.
Yeah, I need that to be the identity. Death taxes and we out here to make folks have just hell on that end of the floor. I love what Cody has in his team, both physically and just bringing the dog energy. Just got him through as a passer in transition. It's their first game, brother.
Yeah, yeah, man. And she got guard. She got Chase Caitlin. She got Kelsey trying to dance on her, and she got that ain't. Come on, man. That's not light work
She came back from the UCL tear and had to run through 700 screens on her first night of NBA action.
with Aaliyah. I just broke down what Maisha did to her, just roughed the ball with her with a full head of steam. Like, come on now, like nah, man, gotta give them some grace. So look, the grace period is over in the June. Then we ain't get the grace got to go. Like you had enough games to get this together.
I think that is a very generous amount of time. All right, I like it from Doug Dang. Shakira's leadership is probably not getting enough recognition yet. And this was just laughing at something one of you two said earlier. But yeah, I think Kiki and Sonya have established themselves as the top two dogs here. Hell of a draft last year. Go ahead, Carter.
You made the All Star game in your rookie year. Yeah, they that's that tends to be a sign to the front office. Let's build around them, and that's why a lot of the players you saw here last year they're no longer here, and they went a different direction. So it's clear, let's get more athletic, let's get more versatile, let's get bigger. We'll take the growing pains because in the long run, the
Yep.
misses will be inflicting pain on opponents a lot more.
Hmm.
Yeah, if they ever get that chemistry down, they're gonna blow the doors off these teams. Kind of just commenting on what you guys were saying earlier when that all starts to come together. And again, like it's game three, but 2-1 at this point. They'll play again on Monday. You guys had anything else you wanted to add on this win? And for the three of us, y'all have a great evening, and we'll check with you guys Monday evening for pregame and outlook.